Welcome to today's Research Pays Off. I'm now going to hand it over to our speaker, George Chang, who is the president of the ISIC.
Thank you, Lauren. Welcome to this webinar. NRRA has great research payoff webinar monthly. Please join every webinar. You're going to find your time well spent. So today, I'm going to recap the ISIC 2024 conference. As Lauren just mentioned, I'm the president of ISIC. I'm also with the Translate Group. And ISIC is proud to be a partner of NRRA. So I'm going to start with a quick introduction. So what we are, what ISIC are. And then we're going to some recap of the wonderful, exciting content of ISIC for the workshop on day one, and also the technical presentation and sessions on day 2 and day 3. And then finally, I'll provide some summary. So ISIC was founded by 4 persons back in 2016. So me and Professor Sohail, Professor Antonio, and Professor Shi. Back in 2016, we felt the need to create a platform for the innovative technologies such as intelligent construction and alike, and for the agencies, researchers, consultants, and manufacturers to be able to share the knowledge and advance the technology. So by founding this ISIC International Society for Intelligent Construction, as you can tell, we try to focus on intelligent construction technology. So what is intelligent construction technology? It's simply the conventional technology have been innovated over the years that have combined in recent years with the information technology, such as GPS, web computing, and all sort of chip processing on board on the construction machine to provide a lot of measurement, analysis, as well as provide feedback to the operator, QC manager, and also the agency's inspectors. So you cover everything through the entire construction life cycle, through the planning, design, survey, material production, delivery, laydown, paving, construction, inspection, as well as the data management. The last, data management, is the key for this technology because all this technology we mentioned for intelligent construction no longer just equipment, but also have collecting a lot of information, data, and that turn into information. A lot of these are in the form of digital technology. That's why we kind of put the final ring of the life cycle using technology such as building information modeling. So we've been started our inaugural conference back in 2016 in Portugal. And then we have a first conference in Minneapolis with a lot of sponsorship from MINDOT in 2017. So we plan to do one international conference every other year. So 2019, we have a second conference in Beijing, China, and we postponed 1 year and due to the COVID. So 2022, we have our third conference in Guatemala and Portugal. And this year, we have our fourth conference in Orlando, Florida. And we're going to talk about more planning in the future later on. In addition to the international conference, we also conducted conferences that supporting conference such as the ISIC track. Now, normally it's a 2 days a track with focus on intelligent construction on various conferences. The last two we have done is the 2022 MTCNE in Minneapolis, and we have also 2 days of the ISIC track to focus on intelligent construction technology. You can see all the participants and speakers and coordinator for the 2022 ISIC track. And we'll continue with the MTCNE 2023 ISIC track, and we'll compile that into a summary report. And that year, we'll focus on from design to construction, how to use the 3D design and the intelligent construction technology and make it work in the field. So that I have a lot of technical content that fill the blank, how to connect the design into the construction for digital construction. That's the 2017 conference in Minneapolis. We have a great kickoff for the first conference with a lot of participants from all sectors of the market, including federal highway, DOTs, consultants, manufacturers, and quite a bit people from overseas too. That's the 2017 conference in Beijing, China. That's the year we have turned or changed the name from the original Intelligent Construction Technical Group into International Society for Intelligent Construction. Then 2022, we have a third conference with a theme for the post-digital era. And this year, we have a theme of the sustainability through technology as a focus of our conference this year for 3 days conference, including the workshop in day 2 and technical session day 2 and day 3. Here show the coordination committee from the North American chapter of ISIC. So here's the conference schedule. We normally will follow the formula of success of the 34 years running role profile user group, our conference, to start with the workshops and followed by technical sessions and end with the open panel discussion and to wrap up the conference. So that turned out to be a very, very good formula to get a lot of people involved, especially from federal highway and also DOT participants through the pool funds involvement for the pool fund meeting as well as workshops. So we start with the workshop. So for the ISIC 2024, we kick off the day 1 with the Federal Highway sponsored workshop for NDT and Intelligent Construction Technology for asphalt pavement construction workshop. So this is an ongoing project that Federal Highway have contracted Transit Group to put together a 4 hours training and to focus on several technologies, including the paver mounted thermal profiling, intelligent construction, like electric profiling system, VEDA software, and to focus on those for practical implementation of intelligent construction technology. So you can see the final bullet here is encourage the attendees to implement NDT and ICT during asphalt construction to improve the quality of construction, safety, asset management, performance, and reduce cost. Pretty much all the benefit you can really realize through the implementation of intelligent construction. So this is, again, a 4 hours workshop to focus on the technology. You can see on the left here, PMTP, paver mounted thermal profiling, intelligent compaction, and DPS for measuring continuously the asphalt density using the GPR technology, and then glue all these technology data together using the VEDA software. So this is a 4 hour workshop, really condensed to include all the 4 technology we're talking about. And not to mention the last session of the workshop is focused on the implementation, which is very, very crucial an outcome for this workshop. So this workshop was very well attended. You can see on the photo here, including the kickoff by Stephen Cooper of Federal Highway, who is the project manager for this ICT workshop for asphalt construction, and the speaker like such as me, Amanda, and so on. So I'm trying to pick one slide out of each session and presentation. It's going to be very hard. I try to extract the 3 days conference into a 1-hour presentation. There are a lot of good contents. At the end of this presentation, I will show you how to download all the presentation from this wonderful workshops and also technical sessions. So the one slide that have been brought up from the ICT workshop a lot from after the workshop from the audience's feedback is the factors for premature payment failure. And that was a survey by ASCE more than 12.5 years ago to find out what's the main cause in 2 categories for the premature payment failure. And you'd be surprised, maybe not surprised, to find out the material failure is only 20%. The majority are caused by 80% of the workmanship. So what this workshop's purpose is to use intelligent construction technology to overcome the 80% of the workmanship issues that cause the premature payment failure. So in the second half a day, on day 1 is the joint dielectric profiling system as well, and also the stripping transportation pool fund technical working groups workshops. So there's a 4-hour meeting with 2 hours focused on DPS, another 2 hours for the GPR and stripping. As I mentioned, this is following the success of the ARPA conference to bring in pool fund studies, participation, as well as the DOT folks into the conference. Here's the first 2 hours of stripping pool fund study that have a lot of wonderful presentation on the 3D GPR, and also the mean road stripping test session, and also the automated software to detect asphalt concrete stripping. So this is a wonderful pool fund study. I encourage all agencies can participate. And the second half of the task working group is focused on DPS, led by Kyle. And the first 2 hours by EO, MinDOT. So MinDOT had been really as a leadership to lead several pool fund study, including NRRA, the stripping pool fund study, as well as the DPS pool fund study. And during the second half of the pool fund meetings, they focus on the vendors update and also the industry update, as well as the research update. So this pool fund is thriving, has a lot of work to do, but I also will encourage any DOT who have not joined pool fund, join these 2 pool fund study. You can get your money and time worth. All right, so day 1, day 2, and day 3, we get into technical sessions. And the first day, we have a kickoff by our North American chapter's president, Tim Kowalski, and followed by our international welcome, and very importantly, Dr. Tom Yu of Federal Highway had given a wonderful, inspiring keynote speech focused on sustainability through technology. Again, I tried to pick one slide from each presentation. Here's Tim and Tom during the kickoff sessions. And here's a keynote from Tom Yu for the sustainability through technology. And this is a wonderful, inspiring keynote speech, pretty much lay the groundwork for the following 2 days of technical sections. And Tom ended with this Romans road that had lasted more than you can see here, more than 2,000 years. And the vision in line with the recent Federal Highway and the industry vision for 100 years payment to make our payment more durable and last longer. And then we follow the kickoff with a focus, also another kind of educational purpose session to focus on several technologies that lay the groundwork for intelligent construction technology. That start with the precision technology by Jim Preston of Topcon, and followed by paving technology by NRRA and Todd Mansell, and then compaction technology by Tim Kowalski, and then EOS 3D ground GPR for the project scoping effort, which is a very important application for this technology, followed by my presentation on automation in highway construction. Here are the presenters for this session. Here are the presentation, as I mentioned. At the end of the webinar, we'll show you where you can download all these presentations. The reason we put these sessions right here is to another way to lay the groundwork, because these are the core technology for making other intelligent construction technology work. Very importantly, all technology that we mentioned collect data. And not only collect data, to collect so-called geospatial data that include timestamps and location, including longitude, latitude, or north and eastern for every data point being collected. That's how all this technology can collect geospatial data and communicate and merge with other technology for comparison and leverage the value of those technologies. So I picked one slide out of precision technology from Jim's presentation, and this shows how this technology works. You may think GPS is simply a black box that it just works. It had a lot of challenges, but also solutions to overcome. So as I mentioned, all the data that we mentioned all for the intelligent construction technology require and need the GPS positioning technology that not only using the GPS satellite constellation, but Galileo and other Russian and other Baidu satellite to get the position satellite signal, as well as the correction signal that they can use for narrowing and make the GPS positioning more precise for our purpose, such as for automated machine guidance, for intelligent compaction, they all require a very high positioning data. And here is showing that's an obstruction for a tree line that will limit the precision of your GPS, but with the additional satellite system, you can overcome it. Here's the one slide pick out of the paving technology. There are a lot of good content from NRRA's presentation. Most importantly, the one feedback I always get from audience for NRRA's presentation is show a lot of fundamental that you can understand how paper work, the 5 forces, balances, for example, and to understand how to make paper work and pave a smooth asphalt pavement. Here is showing the pavings work with a 3D milling. If the milling is using a three-dimensional control, you can pave your using the paving in 2D. Here's all the positioning technology that can combine and used by the milling machine as well as the paver to improve your paving quality. On the right-hand side, you can see all these total station to get the high precision positioning as well as a rover for a grade check for the after paving. Here's one slide from the compaction technology from Tim's presentation. This is just an example to show many intelligent construction technology that can do. Here's to show the smart dock that can collect the data from the intelligent compaction and provide also the information they can get from the technology. And finally, you can import it to data for management. Here's one slide from EO's presentation. This is a wonderful presentation that can show the value of using the GPR technology. In this case, you can see the show in the different section with missing documentation that you can fill in the information from the GPR so you can have better or precise, accurate information for project scoping. It's just a wonderful application for this technology. And for my the last presentation, I presented the roadmap and as well as the challenges and solutions for automation in construction. The lot of needs for using the technology to overcome the needs for, say, the shortage for skilled workers and also more high quality work. And this including pretty much mirror the automation in automated vehicles, autonomous vehicles that have several levels of automation. Start with the automation, like controlling. I'm going to show some example later on, and going through the intermediate step with the semi-autonomy. That's one presentation in this conference. It's called supervised autonomy. It's a similar concept. And finally, to the autonomy technology. And we have several sessions, 2 sessions on quality monitoring and sustainability. And this is the first one that presented by several presenters here, including the sustainability material, how to monitor better monitor the construction quality and make use in the field. Here's a presenter for these sections. All wonderful presentations. Here are the presentation file that we have download links at the end. You can download each of the one, including sustainable road construction from Professor Chang from Taiwan, ROC, as well as the Dr. Zhao from Federal Highway, exploring the environmental footprint for the next generation asphalt pavement with intelligent compaction using LCA. That's also a great presentation. And followed by Mary also from Federal Highway for using the installation data for streamlined region inclusion for performance verification. You'll be surprised that coming to ISIC conference, you're going to see a lot of presentation, not only for the pavement folks, but also geotechnical expert. Good thing happen if you have various different design folks, construction folks, material folks in the same room. Professor Jay from Australia, a long way from Australia, he also presented the AI and using for the soil mechanics for ground assessment. And Alex from Yukon also presented the application using data and also intelligent construction for boundary overlay in Connecticut. A great application. And then this is one of the presentation slide from LCA collection for asphalt paving from Dr. Zhao. You can see this is the illustration that how intelligent construction technology can really improve the construction quality. Here's another wonderful presentation for PayWise that's showing all sort of intelligent construction technology. This is one of the exciting, still progress, under progress to mount the GPR under the roller to measure osphole density. And here's the UConn's presentation by using Veda filter to better manage the IC data for analysis. Therefore, it can be used in the state spec. Here's a wonderful slide from Professor J, Australia, that show how their research to really fuse and combine a lot of aspects of intelligent construction technology to make a better payment planning and design and construction and quality and monitoring. Then we've switched the gear to digital twins using the digital construction technology as well as the building information modeling. We have 2 sessions on that. Here have Mary again from Federal Highway, Miguel, my friend from Portugal, as well as Ross from Trimble, as well as a gentleman just graduated from university from Thailand. So we have a lot of people from all over the place. Here are the wonderful speakers for these sessions. So here's the presentation. Don't get fooled by this just couple presentation. These are very solid presentation and high quality presentation on BIM information modeling. And Miguel started with open BIM approach for integrated design and construction, a modular construction, and with the illustration using the R2U project. And this can be applied to anything in all construction industry, including highway and so on. And also the Ross from Trimble also showed the BIM model for construction and highlight the 2 coins, side of coins for risk and also the benefit. You take the risk and you get the benefit. And Mary also talked about the geotechnical aspect of data throughout the life cycle by reusing, repurposing the data. Here's one of the example slide from Mary that can show the value of using the digital geotechnical data. And we're talking about digital data throughout this conference for all the intelligent construction technology using geospatial data that have a timestamp, also location that can be used and really leverage for reuse those digital data from those technology. And here, Mary just illustrate how this can be used in early decision making, also the construction schedule, and also the site assessment schedule, prevent redesign, and reduce surprises. One thing that BIM have been used a lot is avoid the conflict with conflict, and also to find the BIM conflict resolution. Here's the Miguel's presentation on BIM, a modular construction. I will encourage you to download the presentation and see the detail how Miguel been spearheaded and lead not only the BIM implementation in Portugal, but also in European countries. And we are a little bit left behind in the US, so we need to catch up. Here's one presentation example from Russ. Presentation from Trimble for digital delivery for as-built application. Throughout the conference, we've been talking about digital construction using all these technology that can collect the variable information as the digital as-built information that would bridge the design and the performance and management. So this is the one that really can fill in the blank and really linking the design with the performance with the digital as-built data. This is also initiative of Federal Highway EDC to collect and manage the digital as-built data. To make it work in the real world, here are the example of Caltrans, working with Granite Construction for making this happen. Another session on quality monitoring and sustainability. Here is really heavyweight speakers from MinDOT on day 2. So we have a lot of great fun during ISIC. We have also night evening activities. So we really need a heavy speaker to kick off the day. And showing up, we have the commitment from Kyle, Rebecca, and Bryce, and Bram, also Mark, to kick off the day, the day 3 presentation with this wonderful presentation. Here are the presenters you're probably all familiar with. And you can see on the lower right here, Kyle, you can hardly see his boot. His right leg is he's really committed to after injury and coming to ISIC to make the presentation and participate in a lot of discussions. Here are the wonderful presentation here, including the Kyle's DPS pool fund study to show how they can implement GPS, DPS through a lot of research effort and also specification and working with the industry to join the effort to make DPS hopefully surely soon will be a acceptance tool. And Rebecca have made a great presentation for the national implementation of the AASHTO standard for material delivery management system. That's the kind of expanded version of e-ticketing that include a lot of the content I'm going to show you shortly. That for a whole entire life cycle for material delivery management. Okay, that's a great presentation from Bryce again. He had made 3 cool presentation, all very, very inspiring for put the boots on the ground to make those technology from the intelligent construction technology to make them work. So here's one presentation with slide from Kyle to show the DPS National Pool Fund Program. Again, if you have not joined this pool fund yet, call Kyle. Join this pool fund. That's a great pool fund study that really to advance the technology and make DPS work in the real world. So here's the presentation slide from Rebecca to show the implementation of MDMS and joint effort is implemented in the VEDA. And VEDA is a standardized intelligent construction technology platform that can merge currently with the PMTP data, IC data, DPS data, all on the same project. So you can compare Apple, really leverage the technology from each from the technology that we mentioned. And with the MDMS to be included, that's even better. You can see the development team for the MDMS team have been working hard to make all the different elements to make MDMS to work in the real world. And here's the showing the contracted MDMS and also the geofences to make the material delivery management system work. And that's also our team been working on this week. Boots on the ground. That's Bryce always been preaching. Hey, these technology works. That's how it make it work. It take a lot of effort, but you just have to take the risk and working together to use those technology and working with the spec, working with the DOTs, and show these can really improve the construction technology. And you just have to do it and make it work in the field. So here's one of the presentation slide Then this from things from Bryce or other that show the drop in temperature on the left here that will cause the low density. So that show the PMTP data and also the DPS data can leverage the value if you implement both at the same time. So this is what I just mentioned earlier for supervised autonomy. This is one of the great presentation from Telio, and this is one of the example for so-called aftermarket solutions to work with the OEM manufacturers such as Caterpillar, Worgen Group, other to make the machine even more smarter, even more intelligent. And here's the application of using this technology to do so-called supervised autonomy using the remote control on the right-hand side, look like a computer game that can remotely control the construction machine and make them work. And this also include a semi-autonomy that with the mobilization between two different job sites and the machine can drive itself to the destination. Well, of course, with the route planning, also conflict avoidance. So this is a very exciting technology that we've all been talking about during ISIC conference. So here's another presentation on another session on digital twins and BIM. And here, Eero from University of Illinois has showed the wonderful so-called smart highway by embedded the bender element field sensor for quality assessment for pavement construction. And then followed by Johan Beck's multi-objective optimization for digital twins, all these smart people, and also the Yo from Portugal to present their use of digital twins. As you can see, ISIC have a very variety of presentation, really inspire one another from the different field. Here are the three wonderful presenters for these sessions. Here's the presentation on the digital twin. They're all digital twins, including Eero's, because they collect digital data that can feed into the digital twin. The digital twin really are more a broad concept right now that not only just for using with the building information modeling, but it's just the digital construction data in general. So this is in a very highly evolving field. That's why we like to have this platform to have all these experts converge from all over the world to discuss the advancement like this conference. So here's one slide from Eero's presentation. It's called Smart Runway for at the one of the example project that Eero did by embedded the sensor in the ground. They also have the berry cable, have DAQ to collect the data, and really make the runway smart. It can collect the performance information and really feedback to the control and make the best use of it. So there's a cooperation with a lot of agencies you can see on the bottom here. For Eero have been doing a great job by making highway, in this case, runway smart. So here's another session for quality monitoring and AI. Jay mentioned about AI from Australia in the earlier session. And here we have Sam, also from Australia, to make a presentation how they implement intelligent compaction in Australia. Amanda and I also have been involved with Sam to help the implementation of intelligent compaction in Australia since 2018. They make a huge progress by learning a lot from us in the US. One thing I'm going to share with you from Sam's presentation, which is to answer one of the key questions from almost every person who had confronted innovative technology. What's the ROI? What's the return of investment? That is sometimes hard to quantify, but that is the answer we always need to provide, at least to our best ability, to convince and get a buy-in from agency and especially and the industry. Amanda showed example of intelligent highways. I just mentioned about intelligent runway from Ero's presentation, and Amanda here is talking about intelligent highways to showcase the MoDOT implementation of intelligent compaction and paver-mounted thermal profiling since 2017. So this is continuous implementation, probably the longest one beside MinDOT that really leverage and show the success of using those technology to improve payment qualities. And then Mr. Kang from South Korea have made a presentation on BIM-based digital twin framework. So those are this hardware from those people working in the trenches, so to speak, to make this technology work. And finally, this session ends with a presentation by our beloved Professor Sohail Nazarian on the vision of intelligent compaction for 100-year pavement. Kind of echo what the keynote speech by Dr. Tom Yu from Federal Highway. He's our presenter for this wonderful session. Here are the presentation we just mentioned about the BIM, digital twin, ISIC in Australia, intelligent highway in MoDOT, and 100-year payment. This is what I'm talking about here. A lot of the so-called return of investment have been done by the manufacturers and rarely been done by agencies. And this is one example done by ARB. Now, ARB used to be called Australia Road Research Board, and now they call it NTRO, that working with TMR, which is the equivalent of Federal Highway in Australia, to implement the intelligent compaction. I think the next step would be GPS pretty soon in Australia. So one key work from Sam's group, which also we've been involved, is to study the business case for using intelligent compaction. So here's the example to illustrate the cost and benefit for a project level and really dig down and dig into all the different elements to showcase how to calculate the return of investment using these technologies. So that would definitely help for the buy-in from the agencies. This is a very valuable one. In recent years, I only see a handful one. The last one I saw, RI study was from, independently from the industry, was from one university in Montana. So here's one slide from Amanda's presentation for the smart highway for MoDOT. This is to show the example of the consistent, persistent implementation over the years for using intelligent compaction. And here's using PMTP, paver-mounted thermal profiling. Through the years, it takes a lot of planning, effort, with DOT's championship to lead the industry locally, as well as the working with consultants like Transtech to joint effort to make this work year after year through the learning curve and on. And this showed the benefit and result. And you got to have accountability for doing those efforts and through years of investment. So this is one example from Amanda's presentation. So at some stage for implementing those technologies, when the agencies elected to use the data from the technology for pay item, such as incentive, then the very important step need to be done to comply with, say, in the Federal Highway CFR code. Here's the effort of MODA to do that, to verify contracts of data that have been used for such a purpose by independently mounted, say in this case, GPS tracker on top of the roller for the same roller that contractor used for intelligent compaction, and verify the data using the independent data collection. And here on the right-hand side is the process to glue this together the data and process it and make a comparison and just show the evidence that the data have been verified. So this is one of the example from Sohail's presentation. Again, this has been shown many times. Intelligent compaction, if you use for asphalt paving, you're probably only thinking about roil, temperature tracking, water passes, and coverage. But here, it's important for foundations. Why? Because you just don't know when your compaction has been achieved without the measurement such as this. Compared with the spot test using nuclear density gauge, which have a limited measurement and not really connect with the design, but also very shallow, even though we've been using that forever. So Sohail have been leading a lot of effort from NCHRP to move the construction acceptance from a density-based to a modulus-based compaction criteria. And with those, the IC intelligent compaction, using the intelligent compaction measurement value from the intelligent compaction, using 100% on coverage and turn into a geospatial data, that really a great way to implement, to ensure a sound payment foundation before you put another payment layer or two. So this is to show that it's a pretty obvious no-brainer approach. We also recently completed a project for intelligent compaction for foundation for federal highway that had the same conclusion. Yeah, we need to simplify the usage and intelligent compaction and make it work in the real world project just by simply using that for mapping like this. So here's another example of using intelligent construction technology. In this case, is using intelligent compaction technology can really work with the machine learning and leverage the recent boom of artificial intelligence. I guess you're probably using ChatGPT or Copilot on a daily basis. And here's one that really leverage the technology and with the intelligent construction, in this case, intelligent compaction technology, to push to the highest level of measurement for intelligent compaction measurement. For those of you who don't know, there are 5 different levels of intelligent compaction, and this AI combined with the intelligent compaction would take it to the highest level, and 4 and 5 have to make your final and holy grail of measurement compaction metrics such as modulus and density. And this will answer the prayer for DPAC as we discussed during the ISIC conference. All right, so all the conference that we have run in the past years, including the 34 years ARPA conference, is ended with user or audience interactive session. In this case, we use an open panel discussion to really gather up all the thought, discussion, questions, solutions in the past 3 days of conference in this open panel discussion. We have recorded and also have a very great transcript. I'm going to show some example to you. If you have missed this open panel discussion, we highly recommend you to download and then the summary report and see what have been discussed. That include the wonderful open panel members from our executive committee from ISIC, Professor Sohail Nazarian, and also Dr. Tom Yu, our keynote speaker from Federal Highway, and Rebecca from MINDOT. We also had contractor from Ajax and also Fulton Hogan from New Zealand, and also manufacturer from Kowalski, also Paul from MOBA, and Andrew Lindsay from Trackit for this open panel discussion. Again, this is a wonderful open discussion, panel discussion that always end with a crescendo for the wonderful conference like ISIC. Here are the panels managed by our beloved Dave Johnson for Oxford Institute. I like his acronym for his Oxford Institute, which is AI. Here are the wonderful panel members. Here's just one snippet as a teaser to you. Why we do use, why we have this ISIC? All these topics such as how do you find and maintain champion, keep technology innovation going. All these are great questions we gather from the industry, agencies, how we can make intelligent construction technology work for both agency and the industry. So here are the great discussion topics. Here's just one example that we discussed during the construction, the open panel, how we can link the road smoothness and sustainability and connect them together through all the technology we're talking about. So Rebecca shared her perspective. Jay Johnson also mentioned about that. Smoothness is often the acceptance criteria for construction. And here all the technology been all connected, material delivery using e-ticketing, your flow rate from PMTP, and then proper coverage and consistent rolling pattern from IC, and then you can use the GPS to measure the continuous of full coverage, nearly full coverage of the asphalt density. So this is just great one that discussion from all over, from agency, from institute, and from Brian from New Zealand have really inject his 2 cents how this can work. And most importantly, how contractor really make it work also, and manufacturer respond the needs for the industry and agency to make it work. So again, the summary report can be downloaded from our website. The link is underneath here. We can always go to our website, www.is- don't forget the dash, ic.org. On the front page, you can see the image like this for summary report for ISIC 2024. They can download the entire content. As I mentioned, at the end of the final few pages of the summary report have all the download links for the presentation that we just mentioned about. Highly recommended for you to download those presentation. It just all the speaker graciously agree to share those presentation, and we cannot make this ISIC 2024 happen without our partnership with NRRA, also the pool fund study, as well as the Federal Highway, and also the non-financial sponsors and those financial sponsors from the industry that help us to make our ends meet. And we would really like their continuous support. Here are the wonderful coordinator to work endlessly for a year and a half, almost 2 years, to make this conference happen. And come to our isic.org. And here are the webpage. You can you can join our membership for free. Thank you very much. I think I only leave for 3 minutes for Q&A. Apologize for that. Questions?
Thanks, George. I do have a couple questions here in the chat. Paul asked, is there information available for future ICT workshops from FHWA? Steve C. mentioned these. If not, when will details be available, and what is the best way to share with agencies?
Yes.
And that may be something that Steve C. would have to answer.
Yeah, is Stephen Cooper here? Or I can speak on behalf of Steve.
I saw him on the.
Yeah, I am, George. And
there he is.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so TransTech right now is still finishing up the workshop that was delivered in Florida. And, their deliverables are anticipated in the early spring. So that'll include the workshop. And under contract right now, they do have one more workshop to provide. So we're planning on scheduling that right now. But along with that, we also plan on doing 2 webinars. So we're planning on scheduling that. And also another activity that George has is really putting together some marketing on that workshop material. So I suspect early next year, the spring of next year, Federal Highway will be well positioned to provide this workshop material to any state that wants it. Just, feel free to send me an email or send it to George with TransTech. And we'll definitely look forward to providing you that material. The way it's set up right now, it's definitely 4 hours of information, but it's set up as modules. So if you wanted to hear reduced content, we could definitely support that. If you just wanted to hear about paper monothermal profile or the ISIC technology or DPS technology or just an overview, those are all individual modules. So yeah, just let us know what you want. And George, you want to add to that?
No, yes. So the next in-person workshop for this 4-hour workshop is likely, haven't really fully confirmed yet, to be next February during the Rocky Mountain paving conference. And we definitely will announce future in-person as well as the online workshop on the intelligentconstruction.com website. And also we'll distribute to this group too. Great. Next question, please.
Sure. We just have looks like we're at the top of the hour, but if you want to hang on and ask your questions or hear the answers, you're welcome to stay. This will be part of the recording. I will keep it in. So David asked, the value proposition for implementing intelligent construction technologies is certainly compelling. Despite this, there are some entities, AGCs, for example, that actively oppose IC adoption. What can ISIC do to address this?
Well, ISIC, as I mentioned, is an international platform for this technology. What we can do is for any state, for example, if the local agency is opposing any of the technologies, please reach out to ISIC. We can provide outreach, any effort. We have a wonderful so-called menu of educational program to make the industry, a special agency, to understand the technology better. And we can showcase studies such as the same from Australia study for return of investment, and so that also from the industry too. So that's what, just reach out to us.
Great. And I did add a link to the website in the chat, so people can just click that if they want to get to the website to download any of the information or reach out to you. I do have one more question here from Fuzhang. What is the expected life of service if the pavement is constructed perfectly with intelligent technologies? And I'm assuming that probably is a complicated answer.
Yes. It's complicated answer. In the real world, if it asks the same question to the contractor, there's no perfect construction. There's always real world. If you go to any construction site, it's always a war zone, right? To make construction quality work by not even using the innovative technology, but using conventional technology, it got fight to get your material being produced and delivered in time, waiting behind the paver and dump it on the right temperature without any temperature segregation, and then followed by a nice and perfect, perfect, adequate paver settings we discussed a lot during the ISIC conference. And then followed by a consistent compaction effort for adequate, and there's a lot into it. Any of the little detail, if it missed, you lose, you're going to impact your quality. So there's no perfect, but if you get really close and you can really leverage what that can do, theoretically, Professor Sohail Nazarian have a TestDot report he did for TestDot to show kind of what you mentioned here to show what the measurement from intelligent compaction and showing the quality of what you're actually getting. That's a digital spill, what that will affect your design life. So you can see that for the medium to better or degraded, they're going to affect the design life. So it's a theoretical question and also a theoretical answer. Please reach out to me if you cannot find Professor Sohail's report. Right. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, George. Thanks to more than half of you for sticking around. Oh, it looks like I have another hand raised.
Paul always had a question.
No, that was by accident. I meant to.
Oh, okay.
I meant to clap.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for attending this conference. Don't forget to download the summary report and the presentation. Thank you, Lauren, for this coordination.
Of course. Thank you all for joining us today. Have a great rest of your day.
Enjoy.